and we're live and we're recording. And welcome everybody to our Unblinded Real Raw Sales Roleplay, where we talk about hair awards, jacuzzis, and other dynamic things before we hit the record button, because that's what happens when you have fascinating, interesting people on the call every single day at 3 o'clock Eastern. So we got Pedro, we got Gallant, we got Vivian, we have Elle, who's not on the screen, we have Richard, a few other judges coming in, and Sean's going to be jumping here. And we were all just chatting about the importance of being uncomfortable, the importance of being in the game, not being in the bench, and the important part of, you know what, I'm just going to say yes to things and then figure it out later. So Gallant, what is present for you as you come in here and you got 3 minutes, well, total of 6, and Sean will explain, to kind of show how you go from hello to yes to people. What's running through your mind in these moments, 60 seconds?
Add value, remove risk, and over-deliver. And to make it a no-brainer, if they leave that conversation and they don't see the value, then I'll have failed as a salesman. So my goal is to give them as much as I possibly can to where it becomes irresistible for them to say yes.
I absolutely love that. And Pedro, you were spitting fire, which I know we just met, but I feel like you do this on a regular. It's like Wednesday morning drinking coffee and you're spitting value. What have you say as you step into this? You said you built, monstrous marketing machines just like Gallant. You're stepping in here. You're going to go from hello to yes. All eyes on you. You had a phone call. You said yes. What's present for you as we get ready to kick this off?
Yeah, just like we talked about earlier, it's always good to put yourself in new situations, uncomfortable situations, just to get, flex different types of muscle. I echo what Gallant said, 100%. We have, I think, similar styles. For me, the one thing I'll add is that, I never try and sell the unsellable. I never try and sell the unsellable. And so for me, it's about problem ownership, so I think you guys see that today and kind of how I roll. And I think you're going to get to hear some 2 really good role plays that hopefully will serve you in your career.
Oh, I do have one thing for you guys. So I'm the role player, I'm Elle, but I want you to specifically choose me to be the person you want me to be. Do not choose to be Elle, because Elle is like no one else there is, and it won't be good answers. So choose, like, say, be somebody interested in this or whatever, and I can do that, but do not pick me to be me, because it's
why don't we challenge it? You tell me who you want to be, and I'll sell you a service I've sold in the past. Any business, any name, any country, who do you want to be today?
All right. Looks like Gallant is putting the flag in the ground. That is not protocol.
It's going to the ground. What's up?
There he is.
What's happening? How are you?
There are thunderbolts everywhere, Mr. Callagy. It is happening and live.
This is a day I have been fired up about. I'm hearing incredible things about Pedro and Gallant. And how are you guys?
Awesome. Man, I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous. I know I don't look nervous, but like I said, the key to becoming successful is to chase your fear. And you grow the most in your uncomfort areas. So I've been sitting in this nice house in quarantine, losing my skills. So I needed to sharpen the iron. So I'm excited for this. And I hope I learn a lot. And I hope I do lose. And I hope I get humbled, because that's how you grow. If you're always doing stuff that's easy, you're not going to ever really improve or, keep leveling up.
Sean, Gallant's on fire.
Yeah. And it's Gallant is how you pronounce it, correct?
Yes. Everyone calls me Gallant. Everyone calls me Cousin G. Whatever works.
What do you?
I think I just.
It's whatever works for you. What do you?
You know what? I think this is what I do to people that call me Gallant or my name wrong. I never tell them they're wrong, and they'll call me that for years, and they'll be at a meeting, we'll be out, and they'll be calling me the wrong name, and people are like, dude, his name's Gallant. And they're like, dude, what? I've been calling him Gallant for 3 years.
Do you prefer Gallant or Cousin G?
Really, either or, man. I feel like Cousin G is kind of my online name. Everyone knows me by Gallant, but I like them both.
All right, let's drop in. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, take us in, Fernando.
Well, we're going to re-welcome everyone now that we have our entire cast here to our daily unblinded real raw sales role play. Today's the day, because you missed it. I know you were caught here earlier, but before the cameras and lights were on, there were punches. There were, I'm going to take you down. I might be exaggerating. I might be not. But more importantly, our 2 contestants are excited here. So I know, Vivian, you're going to introduce them. What's up? What's present for you? Who do we got here?
Pause. Before we get into that, I want to acknowledge this. A lot of folks come on the Real Raw, and what's been happening is this amazing acceleration of like what we're doing here, which is unlocking the reality that influence is a superpower. that you can obtain it and use it optimally for influencers to influence influencers to merge ecosystems to make the world a greater place. But a lot of folks have been like, you know what, Fernando, Vivian, yeah, I had a hamstring pull, my shoelace was untied, I'm not really sure what's happening. Oh, I didn't realize it was like this. And here's the deal, and I honor them, and thank you for their vulnerability. But what I am fired up about today is that when Gallant and Pedro were backstage, if you will, these people were like all about it. Like they were all about it in full vulnerability, open access, let's go. And the coolest part about it is these are drop the mic people of sales. I've listened to their videos. I've heard their words. Like selling is like watering your grass, like something you must do. And these are people, what I didn't know before I got back there though, was their integrity and humility, right? Underneath massive amounts of beautiful confidence. So I am so fired up, Vivian. So let's introduce these people appropriately. What's up?
Well, we got Cousin G in the house. He's an award-winning serial entrepreneur and business consultant, advisor consultant to hundreds of business owners ranging from startups to multi-million-dollar conglomerates. By the time he was 23, he had placed dozens of products into real retail stores around the globe and has been in 30 under 30 3 separate times and has grown some of the world's largest entrepreneur communities on Facebook. And might I add, he's not even 30 yet.
Gallant, what's up, sir? How are you, Gallant?
I'm good. And, you know, those backgrounds, some of the stuff I forget because, you know, as an entrepreneur, you do so much. So, you know, I've done so much in the last 2 years that my retail days seem like a thing in the past. And when you mention my age, I'm like, dang, I really am only 30. I'm like that old soul. I feel like a 90-year-old in like a 28-year-old's body most days because I just read and go to bed early. So
Well, that's awesome, brother. And truly awesome to me. You've heard incredible things. And we'll drop back in a minute. But Vivian, we have another rock star. What's up?
Oh my God. Someone who loves the pressure cooker, Pedro Adao. 3-time 2 Comma Club winner, best-selling author, and the founder of the 100X Academy, founder of Fortress Financial Group, an independent financial and insurance services firm that strives for honesty, education, simplicity, and empowerment.
Yeah.
Pedro,
And I think I heard Pedro online communicating openly about his faith and putting a flag in the ground for who and what he is. Pedro, did I hear that appropriately?
You did.
Yeah.
You
And
did.
so I honor that, brother. And, you know, thank you for being a light in the world. How are you?
Doing awesome, man. DG filled me in yesterday. I think this is an incredible, I just love the cause and the heart behind Unblinded, man. I'm fired up to be here and just see what you guys are up to. And this should be exciting, you know? And so I can't wait to chop it up.
All right, let's go.
This is the classic, like young versus old, right? This is a great fight. You know, it's like the young, the 29, good looking.
28, man. I'm not that old. Come on.
28, good looking, full of fire against the old 45-year-old guy who's, you know, uses too much hair gel. Let's see what happens.
Amazing. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. David Gonzalez, honor you, brother. These are amazing people. And our judges for today to like step up with these amazing folk. Who we got, Vivian?
Oh, Pedro has a very impressive background. I don't know why he's downplaying it. He's also the best-selling author of The Finished Life and a 100X podcast that has over 100 downloads and is the #1 community for Kingdom entrepreneurs.
100,000 downloads, right? Amazing. And by the way, Vivian, yeah, he's a straight up rock star, but you know, we know how this goes. He's an incredible person of integrity-based influence. He's acknowledging, he's validating, he's stepping into his humility, and he's about to drop some lightning bolts all over the place. I know what Pedro's up to. So judges, what do we got?
Sean's on to me. I can't get past him.
We got Jackie Sabatino, a regional director of sales in Sunrise Senior Living.
Yeah. Jackie, welcome from Sunrise. And Jackie, we spoke not long ago. So how is this like showing up for you? It's a fun and unique day, eh?
Hey, Jackie, we got you muted. Bottom left for the unmute button.
Sure. Here we go. Sorry, I came on a little bit later, but it seems like everybody's having a lot of fun with the exercise, certainly. And I think I can see why it's called raw. Like that kind of opportunity to be yourself and to just not be scripted at all whatsoever. So, I mean, that's definitely coming across. You know, just trying to follow it along, you know. So it's really our first times, but we do appreciate the opportunity to be here and experience this. And look forward to the next steps and listen a little bit more to what it's all about.
Yeah, so Jackie, thank you and Sunrise for the incredible work you're doing and taking care of people in the middle of this pandemic and insanity. So our heart is with you, your work, Sunrise, and everything you guys are doing. So, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It has been a challenge.
Yeah. And so who else we have, Vivian?
So we have Gino Veneroso, which I guess you both work together at the Sunrise Senior Living. Am I hearing that?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
We got 2 Italians on the phone. Veneroso and Sabatino.
That's
So
a good day.
Gino, you are you've opened up Manhattan for Sunrise, and you want to share a little bit about yourself and what brought you here today to Unblinded.
Sure. So, Jackie and I are both, Jackie's our regional director of sales. I'm the director of external community relations for our property in Manhattan. It hasn't opened yet, but it's going to open shortly. We're looking at June, the end of June. But, myself, I've been following Sean and the Unblinded movement probably, over the past year or so. I think you guys are great in what you do with integrity-based influence. I've learned certainly a lot just kind of following you guys. I attended your conference in New Jersey a while back, but the first time I saw Sean was on stage at a Tony Robbins event. I'm like, wow. And I thought that was, what he was saying definitely kind of resonated in terms of, integrity-based influence. And thank you, Sean, and the team, for having us today. And I hope, we're able to do some, some great things together and create some wins in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. And I always thank Tony. I have the privilege of being a Lion in his Platinum Partnership Organization. And Tony Robbins, I will always say this to everybody, is the realest of real deals. My favorite Tony Robbins encounter ever to demonstrate who he is. I was at his house in Palm Beach, and there was 3 people left in the backyard. One of them was me. He was talking to another gentleman. And as some of you may or may not know, I'm blind. And so I have peripheral vision, but I am blind. I can't see anything on the screen, anything in front of me. So I just, but Tony's hard to miss. So, right, I squeeze his arm and I'm like giving him the thumbs up. I didn't want to interrupt this conversation. He grabs me by the arm, Nobody's watching, no cameras, no nothing. Right. And he's like, Sean, how you getting out? And I said, I'll find my way, Tony. He's like, no. I'm like, Tony, finish your conversation. I don't want to interrupt. He goes, no. He takes me by the hand, holds my hand and walks me through his backyard, through the house, out the front door. And that's who that guy is. So I am deeply indebted. He's a mentor, a teacher. I've been studying his work for 23 years. Unbelievable human being. I wouldn't have brought that up, Gino, had you not said that. So I just want to share that. He is remarkable as a sage. So thank you for that. Vivian, one more judge. Who's that?
Sean, just I have to interject here. So why was he walking you out of the house?
What did you do?
Yeah.
Walk you right out of the house. Grab your arm, Sean. I'm going to walk you right out of my house.
Well, yes, I kept jumping in and trying to take selfies and post them online as fast as possible. So no, Tony, I'm blind, actually, physically blind.
I'm teasing, Sean.
Yeah, no, it was all good. So, but it was the end of the night and he wanted to make that happen. So just incredible soul. But but it's funny, Gallant, that you share that. I have made a point since I've been in Platinum Partnership Alliance, and some people have said that's crazy. I have never asked him to take a picture. I've never taken a selfie with him. I've never taken a picture with him. But Fernando, I think you tried to do that, didn't you, brother?
I believe we're here to have the real raw role play. We have another great judge in Richard. So we're going to go ahead, hard pivot, bazooka, now step into that frame. Integrity-based human influence. Who we got as the next judge, Vivian?
Wait, hold on. So Fernando is the greatest student I have ever had in the space of integrity-based human influence. He's become an elite level leader, trainer, is on fire with everything that we're doing. And so I honor you, brother. I love him to no end. And it took some disruptions, a little bit of learning along the journey. Is that fair, Fernando?
Yes, and I did take a selfie with Tony Robbins. If you're going to get it straight, not only was it with Tony Robbins, it was in front of 40,000 people, in front of Date with Destiny, as he kicked me off stage. So if you're going to say the story, Sean, say it right.
That is amazing. And Gallant, Pedro, Jackie, I was hiding under my chair in the dead front row center. And I'm like, this is not happening, because Fernando was there as my guest. I'm like, this is not happening. This is not happening. So Fernando ends up on stage in an exercise. It's a longer story. He goes up and he takes a selfie from stage with like the crowd in the background. And Tony Robbins like, look at this guy. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not happening. This is not happening. And so when we did the Unblinded event in front of 1,500 people, our event in January, we had a little session where it was Fernando's last selfie. So Fernando is sworn off selfies for life. We took one final selfie on stage, and Fernando has sworn off selfies forever.
Hi, my name's Fernando, and I've been sober for 6 months.
So amazing.
Congratulations.
And I meant every word I said about him. Fernando, 307 sales appointments, transforming lives with people. This man had a month, about 2 months ago, and he's ramping it back up in the midst of Corona and serving people, loving people, working 16, 18-hour days. Love you, brother.
Thank you, Sean. And one comment, one note, it wouldn't be possible without your leadership. It wouldn't be possible without your vision. It wouldn't be possible without the 22 years that it took you to discover this formula. And more importantly, it wouldn't be possible without your integrity and your love for people. So Sean, I honor you and thank you for making this movement happen and creating the futures for myself, your fellow founders, and everyone in this movement.
Well, thank you, but it doesn't mean you can take any more selfies.
Nope, done.
I'm kidding. And last, but certainly not least, Vivian, we have.
You know, I'm starting to believe that we don't really have this selfie because I've never seen it. We're going to have to prove it, Fernando.
We will.
Boom.
Richard Harmon. He is a managing director.
Yes. Richard Harmon here today? Insanity? Yes, please continue.
Managing Director of CSG Partners, CPA for over 25 years, recipient of the New York City Chamber of Commerce Small Business Award and Distinguished Service Awards from United Way and United Cerebral Palsy of New York City.
Richard Harmon, how in the world did you get roped into being in this insanity today? How are you, brother?
Hey, Sean. It's great to be with you. And my wife, Sandra, swears this is the best Zoom call in the nation right now online. She says it's just been extraordinary. So she stormed in my space yesterday and said, do you want to be a judge? And I said, I'd love to. And just to add, I'm a managing director, nation's leading ESOP investment bank. You know, I've been in the Tony Robbins ecosystem for years. That's where I was blessed to meet Sean. And I put over $1 billion in the hands of people in the Tony Robbins ecosystem in the last several years. So it's a blessing to be here. These guys, Pedro and Gallant, are rock stars. I was on the pre-call. These guys are the real deal. And I'm just blessed to be here and to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah, well, thank you. And Richard, you are the real deal too, my friend. And everything Richard said, verified everywhere. One of the most respected people in that entire ecosystem, speaking on stage at financial trips, serving people continuously. And if anybody has like no idea what an ESOP is and how you can extract beautifully the value that you create in your company, this is the man to talk to, like the man on earth to talk to, Richard Harmon, and looking forward to doing a lot more with you. And you're hanging out in a beautiful home in Puerto Rico with your brilliant, amazing wife. And my significant other was hanging out with you just like a month ago before Corona went crazy. And
2 days before lockdown, she got on the plane out of here. It was wonderful. They had the best time. My wife runs a small group of, she has a group of women that she supports. It's called the Cool Chicks, Cool Chick Cafe. And we had a whole group down here just before lockdown. So it was really fun. And I think we're trying to inspire you and Mona and a couple of other couples to come visit after we get through this.
Richard, I would be honored, brother. And I'll share this. One of my favorite stories from Mona coming back from Puerto Rico was like, poor Richard was surrounded by all these fine women and like just yap. Mona's like, everybody's talking, like everything's going crazy. It's like, so Richard, aren't you happy? Is Richard happy? And Richard's like, yes, I'm happy. Thank you.
I stayed away from them. I was planning not to be here. I was flying back to New York. We have a place in New York. We were planning to spend 7 months in Puerto Rico and 5 months in New York City. And I ended up staying here, and that was a good deal because of everything going on there with so many of our other friends. But yeah, it was quite something. You know, you need to go run and hide when you have that many women and I'm the only guy around. So.
Yeah. Well, you're an amazing soul, brother. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And finally, we have our role player, who is one of my favorite people in entrepreneurship, one of the most amazing process mastery driven folk I have ever encountered, the one and only Elle Anderson, who bought a company 2 years ago as an acquisition specialist, bought a company in the space of landscaping and took it from $4 million to $20 million in just 2 years. Elle, how are you in all this insanity? And thank you for your generosity and your time as well.
Oh, you're very welcome. This is going to be exciting today. I'm really looking forward to it. And, you know, I do have a confession to make, Sean.
Please.
So I know you know me as Elle the Zeus tough talker. And while that is true, I know you mentioned yesterday that that is harder for you. When I am actually one-on-one with one of my team members, I'm not, you know, I'm gentle. You know, I get them to see what they're not seeing, so they either perform or they find a better fitting team. So I do find, though, if I talk tough, like, you know, you hit your goals, or, you know, you go on. If I talk tough to the group, then I can be gentle with the team members, and they realize that they have to perform.
Yeah, amazing. So Gallant and Pedro, final. This is called I was my real raw self on Real Raw Roleplay, and now I'm backpedaling to make sure I soften the edges. That's what Elle is saying. Am I hearing you correctly, Elle?
Well, not on the Real Raw.
I'm teasing. I'm totally teasing.
Yeah. I was rough on them, but I was answering honestly. That's why I've already told them, do not pick me to be me. Like, pick me to be.
And most importantly, one of the greatest decisions Elle has done in 2020 is choose Team Thunder. Congratulations, Elle. That's incredible.
Yes.
Fernando's Team Thunder, top round draft pick. But listen, it's time to drop in, because we got Gallant and Pedro, like horses in the stable, like bulls ready to hit it, like people in the locker room, like Eminem getting ready to come out on stage in like 8 Mile. That's what's present. I feel the energy, or maybe not, but we'll see in a second. So here's how it works. For Gallant and Pedro, we have a 6-minute conversation coming up, split down the middle. 6-minute conversation, split down the middle. For you amazing judges, Ella's going to be like, hey, I have to take a phone call, but I'll be back to you in a minute, and take a break at 3 minutes. Round 1, that first 3-minute segment, judges what you're looking for Gallant and Pedro, and what we're looking for overall is this. Session 1 is opening the listening of Elle in whatever yes they're seeking, but opening the listening, connecting, creating emotional rapport, and also putting something at stake, some pain related to the yes going forward. Because we know sales is about integrity. It's not, as some would say, who remain nameless here, it's about winning and losing, getting something, somebody. No. It's about helping people, unblind people, to the massive value you can add to solve their problems and challenges. It's about giving. It's about helping. It's about unblinding. That's what sales is about, right? It's not about hiding and pretending, and it's also not about taking and controlling. It's about simple truth, unblinding. Session 1 is, does the listening open up so that these fine gentlemen don't sound like Charlie Brown's teacher to Charlie Brown going wah, 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 wah. Listening opens something at stake. Round 2 is where they can begin to share about themselves, their story or their product or service, and how it will solve for the yes that they will be seeking. Now, for everybody, super clear, you could be seeking Gallant and Pedro a yes about anything. It could be to sell your program, a book deal, a movie deal. Elle can be anybody you want. A couple of quickies though. It doesn't have to be all done in 6 minutes. So if you're seeking maybe a longer appointment about a movie or a book deal, or perhaps to speak on stage with Elle, co-create, have her purchase your program, you could invest your time and energy to buy more time from Elle with a yes, because she sees her future in you. So when you think there is 6 minutes, what is the yes you will be seeking? And overall, everyone, what this is really about is about depth of connection, sharing your heroic greatness, gentlemen, helping Elle step into hers, access some of her pain, and ultimately, yes. That's what we're doing here, which is what we at Unblinded believe that integrity-based selling is all about. Okay, so with that said, underneath this table, I have a 1 or a 2. And Pedro, physically, where are you right now, brother?
Physically, I am in beautiful Huntington Beach, Southern California.
Nice. And what do you do for fun in Huntington Beach?
Everything. I mean, it's Huntington Beach, right? So, you know, I mean, I've been pretty much grinding 16 hours a day since COVID hit, but presumably I can go out to the beach and swim. But I've been getting out there and doing some walks. I go out there in the morning, I walk, but there's people bike ride, skateboard, surf, boogie board. I mean, you know, Huntington Beach has made national news because we have been probably one of the most incooperative with the stay-at-home orders in the entire nation, it seems. So, you know what, for fun, I watched the protests outside my deck. And so that's what's been going on here in the last couple months.
Oh, very, very cool. How about outside of Corona? Like when you're not grinding and changing the world and transforming lives like you do, Pedro, what do you like to do?
Man, I just asked some really good friends. So I like just to hang out with friends. I love to eat. I'm Portuguese. So like, it's kind of like being Italian, just a lot better. I'm just kidding. I mean, we love food. We have another place that we split time with up by Napa in NorCal.
Nice.
We have some amazing restaurants, and so we just love to go out to eat with friends and hang out. I love UFC and boxing, even though I've never trained or never been in a fight in my life. I'm a super nonviolent guy.
Before today, right?
We have one tonight. There's a show tonight, yeah. And
like today, like you and Gallant, like that's what's up. Like this is real cool. No, I'm teasing. I'm joking. So, love your heart, love your soul, brother. So you're in California, and Gallant, where are you?
I am now in Houston. I just moved from Austin to Houston to ride out the COVID. I live right on the Lake Conroe, and for fun, I just hang out, man. I enjoy my freedom, and I'm like an old man. I drive around in my golf cart, yell at the neighbors for their dog barking. I'm just kidding. But really just everything, man. I believe that every second of my life is an opportunity. So, you know, I have fun doing everything. Just waking up, not being sick, just not being in pain, just waking up, you know, successful. Everything I enjoy. So like just life, I'm just very blessed and very thankful to be healthy, especially during this weird time that we're in. So just, you know, I'm just everything I enjoy. I love my life and I love the people in it and I love what I get to do. And I recommend people follow their dreams and never settle.
Cool. Awesome, brother. And thank you for your work in the world as well. And Pedro's the away team since he's further away and I'm in beautiful Long Beach Island, New Jersey. Just came out of the 53-degree ocean a short time ago. So, and below this table, Pedro, I have a 1 or a 2. What do you think the number is?
Watch this. Hey, this is gonna be a mic drop moment. Look at this.
Two. It's a 2 on his back.
Boom. Number 2. That is a mic drop moment, brother. And I hope
it works. That's my lucky number. I was born on November 2nd. So 2 is my number.
And I did not switch, and I would never do that for like just a fact. A 2 it was. So here's how it works. You can choose to go first or second in round 1. If you choose to go second in round 1, then Gallant will have choice in round 2. If you go first in round 1, you retain your choice in round 2.
That's if you're saying that they don't say yes in round 1.
Yeah, well, absolutely. There may be no need. Gallant's throwing it down, right? Because yeah, I love it. I love it.
This is gonna be like in football where I'm gonna kick to Gallant, so I'll let him receive and go first in round 1.
All right, so it'll be his choice if there is a round 2 because he is throwing lightning and thunder all over.
Guys, I'm nervous as a whistle right now. I don't even, you know, I don't do this type of stuff. So this is fun. So I'm excited. And also before we get into this, I want to say that I'm going to change my entire pitch to make it about what you guys and what your brand is about, which is value, giving back, and just building long-term real relationships with people. So Ellie, when I pitch you, it's going to be more of a value representation of my company and what I believe. And so by the end of it, it'll be a no-brainer for you to say yes, because my goal is to add enough value in this 3 minutes that you say yes to me at the end. And I haven't practiced. What I want you to do, Ellie, and then I'm going to let you guys finish, is start thinking of some sort of business, a roofing company, a pool builder, a solar company, a car, anything, whatever you want, it is you sell, right? You own a business. So pick the business, and I'm going to sell you my services to that business in 3 minutes.
Okay. So you want Elle to be a business owner, correct? Of any one of those things, right? Cool. So Elle, do you have a business ownership in your mind since you happen to be a business owner?
Yeah, I'll own a roofing company.
All right. Awesome. So Gallant, are you ready?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
All right, brother. 3 minutes. Let's go, El.
Do I do ring, 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 or how does it work?
Yeah. Just yeah. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, El, what's going on?
Oh, just busy trying to finish up my day. How are you?
Good, good. We've been exchanging emails back and forth. It's finally to connect a voice to you. You know, I always talk to the computer. It's nice to actually hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you doing with the COVID? Are you still open?
Yes. Luckily, we are still open. Although I have had the full COVID experience myself, but luckily we were safe and none of my other team got sick. And I'm fully recovered. But the roofing business, I mean, luckily, I'm very blessed that we're still an essential business.
Listen, I'm sure you probably get a ton of people like me calling every single week and sending emails trying to sell you marketing services. So I want to apologize for them, but I just want you to know in the next couple of minutes, I'm nothing like those guys. One, everything we do is try before you buy. So there's no risk in working with me. I believe that you should test before you invest. Next is if we do end up working together, I have a strong guarantee that if I don't over deliver or deliver what you expect, I'll not only give you a refund, but I'll give you $1,000 check for wasting your time. On top of that, everything we do is in real time. If I run marketing campaigns, the leads are exclusive to you and they're not just leads. I bring in exclusive live transfers. So I'll run a Facebook and Google ad that will target the areas you do business in. And then when that comes in, you get a call, you press 1, you talk to them right there in real time, and it's not going to your 5 other competitors. So how we work is, like I said, I don't need a card today. I don't need your Facebook password. All I want to know from you, and I have a long list of references, so I'll make sure to email those over, is where I can send you these live transfers and these leads and these people looking for new roofs right now.
Well, to be honest, Gallant, our leads that we've gotten from the internet are not as high quality of a lead as our other leads.
So all of our leads are exclusive live transfers. These are phone calls that come in to you directly. And remember, the first 10 are free. I just want to show you what we got. If you don't like them, it costs you nothing. Like I said, I don't need a password. And if we do work together, any lead that isn't efficient, all the calls are recorded that come in. So we'll replace that, no questions asked. So if we decide to work together long-term, we charge per lead. And so if I say I'm gonna bring you 50 leads and I don't, I'll give you a full refund that you paid me, let you keep the 47 leads I did bring, and I'll send you a check for $1,000 for wasting your time and as an apology, because I don't want any battery use for my business. I want to make sure to take care of you and over deliver. And I'm that guy who likes to sample things. I don't want to just pay some random stranger over the phone. I want to see what they got first. Let me make you money first, then we do business later.
Well, I've got to take another call right now, but I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, Gallant. Excellent work, sir. Love the energy. Love the pre-frame. What's present for you?
Pretty much, man. Like, when I believe, they get pitched a million times a day. When she said roofer, I'm thinking she gets emails, calls, bad leads. For me, I know that if I'm going to come in there and sell her, I got to show her my quality of work first. My old mentor would say, don't run your mouth, show them your work. So by giving her a taste of 10 live transfers, I'll know if she's someone we can work with long-term or not. Because if she can't close 1 out of 10, my leads aren't going to do anything for her. And on top of that, instead of paying Google the $50 to $150 for her appointment, I'd rather just give her the leads instead of spending that in marketing, because I know I'm going to deliver a good product. She's going to buy from me and continue buying. So I'd rather invest in her versus the money into Facebook or Google for my appointment getting.
Yeah. Gallant, you have such a level of congruence, energetic transfer, Zeus energy, and the #1 irresistible offer I've heard yet on the Real Raw. So drop the mic.
Thank you.
Right? And we'll talk more. Would you be open a little bit to a couple of access points? Because I believe in this. There's micro distinctions that take us from the 99th percentile. People in world, this is our standard here at Real Raw and Unblinded. We believe in a scale of mastery. And what the scale of mastery says, if you're in the 99th percentile, right, and you make a micro distinction differential, the results are exponential and beyond. And dude, you're already rock star amongst rock stars. But the distinction between like Oprah Winfrey, like the ultimate influencer in history, and other people who've had successful TV shows and made a ton of money, And people have been like one little step below that who've had successful TV shows for a little bit and been canceled. And then right below that, people had successful TV shows that like immediately off the air. Apply that to lawyers winning giant cases, accountants having the best client. All of those micro distinctions mean exponential differential like this. Oprah is a multi-billionaire. The person that's a microscopic distinction away, right, is somebody that might be worth $100 million. A microscopic distinction away from that is somebody who made $1 million for a year and got their TV show.
Listen, there's no such thing as a better product. There's only such thing as better words. So when people try to create a better mousetrap, the guy who did actually, that business failed. The person who came in and won was the guy who advertised it better. And so you got to add value first. If you lead with value, you give. I've made all my money organically because I gave first and then people saw I was legit. I made my first millions in my early 20s because I gave value. I didn't focus on advertising or marketing. I focused on over delivering for my clients. And so for her, I want to build her trust because I don't want a one check and done. I want to work with her the next 3 years and make $40,000, $50,000. So if I got to come out of pocket a couple hundred, and I know after talking with her, she's legit, I don't have a problem bringing and showing my work first. So always lead with value and always have irresistible offers in everything you pitch and you'll always win.
Yes. Can I show you a distinction though that might increase the likelihood that she says yes?
Absolutely.
Even as amazing as you are, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, amazing. And we're gonna come back in a little bit. I agree with every word you said and you are a straight up rock star. Elle, one word right now and then one sentence on one word on what you felt, one sentence on what was positive, one word growth opportunity, one sentence, if you don't mind. Elle.
Sure. I love the irresistible offer. I really love that. As far as an access point to improve, is he did not address my concern that internet leads have not been good for us.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna access how that can be configured optimally, right? And drop in. Okay, Pedro, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So you started with 3 minutes of ring ring. Actually, let's ask this question. Who would you like Elle to be?
Yeah, I was going to do that first. Okay. So Elle, you are a health coach, health consultant, like in the fitness industry. You have an online course and you work with females. Okay. So you take clients one-on-one, but you also have a course. You're actually really good at what you do, but you just have not been able to figure out the marketing thing. Okay. You've purchased some courses, you tried running ads before, you've maybe even got a funnel up and it just didn't convert, kind of flopped for you.
Okay.
You're tired of being the best kept secret, you're not really sure what to do next to have the income and impact you desire. You're smiling and keeping a good attitude on the outside, but on the inside, you're losing hope and not sure how much longer you can keep this up.
Okay, got it.
All right. Say, Pedro, take us in with a ring ring, 3 minutes.
Awesome. Let me get my clock started. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Elle?
Yes.
Hey, Elle, good afternoon. My name is Pedro, and I was given your name and number from Lindsay Smith. I think she's a client of yours. Is that right?
Yeah, she is. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, hey, listen, Lindsay was bragging about how you've done such great work for her and getting her kind of back into shape after this quarantine season. And so my wife has actually been looking to work with a trainer and a fitness coach. And so I'd love to learn more about kind of what you do. Is now a good time to chat? Do you have a second or two to talk?
I have about 2.5 minutes and I've got to take a call and that'll just take me a couple minutes, but then I could hop back on.
Yeah, sure. So just real quick, I'd love to hear more about kind of how you serve females in the fitness space.
So, I love helping women, a lot of women, after the pandemic, after all the word is can right in there, of course, it's going to be a problem. And, also after they have children, a lot of women, need a little guidance getting back into shape. And, I'm good at that. I love my clients. I just wish, I had more clients. I wish more people knew about me, Pedro, but I would love to work with your wife and, set up a time to meet with her on Zoom and see, what I can do to help her out.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I know she's been talking about this for a while, and now with COVID, she's, she's admittedly has a few extra pounds that she'd like to get rid of. So I'd love to connect you guys and see if you guys can kind of connect on that. But you mentioned you're looking for some other clients. Tell me more about that, Elle. What have you tried I mean, I'm sure you've tried something, you know, in the way of marketing. What have you tried that before that maybe hasn't, you know, worked or converted for you like you hoped?
You know, I've tried, you know, Google ads and, you know, I mean, we get some people responding, but they don't ever seem to buy. And, you know, I've tried SEO, but it's so expensive and there's just so, you know, we're small. It's just hard to ever get on the first page of Google. And, you know, I mean, most of my clients, you know, love me, but, you know, the referrals are just, you know, kind of hit or miss.
Yeah. You know, I know that all too well. I used to be a full-time financial planner and primarily worked by referral as well. And I never felt like I was in control of my business. And it wasn't until I really figured out how to just run paid traffic successfully. And so this might be kind of a cool connection here for you. I'm really great at helping entrepreneurs like yourself turn cold traffic into just highly engaged paying clients in 5 days or less with my challenge framework. Is that be of interest to you?
Yes, that would be. I just got to take this call. Pedro, let me get on the other line, but I'll be back in just a few minutes.
No problem.
Pedro, very nice work. So beautiful energy, tremendous congruence, rhythm, awesome job. What's present for you?
Just fun, man. This is what I do. Is I just talk to people and I just ask them questions and they tell me their problems, and then selling
solutions provider.
Selling is serving. Selling is serving. That's all this is.
Awesome. All right. So let's take it to the judges. So Richard, we'll start with Richard Harmon. Richard, let's please start with Gallant and then on to Pedro. And if you can give maybe, you know, 15, 20 seconds of what worked, 15, 20 seconds on what you think is an opportunity for growth, please fire, and then a score. Please fire away.
I felt Gallant was just about the smoothest sales pitch I've heard. It was quite compelling. It's almost like I'm watching a professional ice skater do a triple Indy or something, you know. So I guess if I had any side comment, it's so smooth that, you know, it makes me wary, because he was so comprehensive in teeing up that value proposition. $1,000 back, you know, 10 leads, same thing. I think he could have addressed I think I would have recommended he connect with her a little bit more. She'd gone through COVID and recovered and that kind of thing. I think I would have liked to see a little more personal connection before the wonderful delivery. I give him an 8.
All right. Awesome. And how about for Pedro?
Pedro, I felt that it was a great connecting early call, starting with getting his wife involved with their services, kind of that connection building side, very strong on that. I felt less intrigued by his offering, his value proposition, but it was, you know, I would stay on the phone with him. You know, I'd keep listening and see what it was, but I give him a 7.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Richard. And Gino, what do we got, my friend?
Yes, let's see if I'm off mute here. So yeah, Gallant, I think, definitely did a fantastic job, you know, with his delivery. I can sense his certainty on the other side of the screen here. You know, I believed in his product, you know, from his delivery. But as far as feedback, you know, what I will say is a few things. I think definitely he did a lot of the talking, and that, you know, Ellie didn't do as much talking. I felt like, you know, to Richard's point, he could have, you know, talked a little bit more about, you know, she brought up COVID. I mean, that's a really personal thing. And I know if that's something that me and my family went through, and I was sitting next to someone that I may trust and, you know, moving forward on a product, you know, I'd want that person to care about me, you know, to the extent that he would, you know, want to know if my family's okay or know if I'm okay. But, you know, the delivery was definitely succinct and, you know, spot on and, you know, direct. As
Awesome.
far as that.
What'd you have for a score?
For score, yeah, I would say an 8.
Okay. And for Pedro?
Pedro, I felt definitely, you know, comfortable. He was asking questions. I think he put a focus more on, you know, establishing comfort and familiarity and a level of rapport before he moved forward and, you know, pitching or selling. So I think, you know, to me, you know, watching that, I think was, you know, it was comfortable. It seemed like natural. It didn't seem like the dynamic where there was something being sold. You know, Pedro said it. He's like, you know, this is what I do. I talk to people. And, you know, I think that was evident that it just seemed like a conversation as opposed to, you know, like something being sold. So if I could give like an 8.5, that's what I would do.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Gino. And Jackie, how are you and what do you got?
So interesting. For Gallant, what stuck out in my mind was the energy level. It was just such high energy, and I think that is important in sales to have that. And then the deal, he sort of gave it, you had nothing to lose, basically, and almost everything to gain, and he made that quite apparent. I do think I would have liked to learn a little bit more about the why. You know, what was it? Why was he able to give this kind of deal? How did he bring that value that somebody else couldn't have brought? The differentiator. But, and again, I do agree with everyone else, just a moment to really learn a little bit more about, from a personal level, about what Ellie was, you know, indicating. But overall, unbelievable in respect to energy, and really almost making it seem like a no-brainer to choose his product. So I would give him a grade 8.
Okay.
What hit me was it was more conversational. There was less high energy, but it was definitely more conversational that went back and forth. I think I'd probably be maybe a little bit more apt to trust him in his style. So I think that's, you know, what I walked away from. Sometimes, for, you know, and again, I think it's different personality types. I think the high energy is key, but at the same time, I want to make sure the other person is listening to me. So I did feel that Pedro was a good listener and reflected back. So I would give him an 8 as well.
All right.
For different reasons, but I would give them an 8. I would give them the same score, but yes, for very different reasons.
Awesome. So we have a fantastic job. I want to acknowledge again, Pedro and Gallant, for just coming on and for being this open and vulnerable with their incredible success. Certainly not required. They don't need to do this. And this is in service of people. So fantastic job, gentlemen. And a couple quick thoughts. So Pedro, would you be okay if I shared a couple of ideas?
Of course, man. Absolutely.
Thank you. And Gallant, we covered that already. So I'll jump in real quick. So a couple things. And for those that don't know my background, credibility, like who am I to be talking about this? I have the unique privilege of having 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, one of only 2 attorneys in the country, out of 1.2 million between 2014 and 16. To do that has nothing to do with understanding the law, has to do with understanding the dynamics of influence. I've been studying these principles for 23 years. Inside the courtroom, outside the courtroom, our firm has collected over $400 million for people. I have 125 people that work there, offices in 5 states. And we have not, very thankfully, laid anybody off in the corona pandemic. So I have multiple companies, and it is built on relationship dynamics, which is not networking, which is not randomized referrals. That's a longer story for a different day. What I've learned through the work that we've done in leadership, recruiting, selling, growing the firm. I built a 40-person firm in my 20s. I've never heard of anybody doing it before or since. That's only for those that don't know my credibility. You'd be like, who's this dude talking? That's why, right? All good. Everybody here is successful. That just is my background credibility in the space of influence. What I've seen is remarkable dynamics and distinctions that make the difference between having people achieve all the things they want. So if I'm running around an ecosystem of incredibly successful people, there are folks that, multimillionaires, centimillionaires or hectomillionaires, whatever the appropriate word is, $100 million plus people, billionaire, but there's distinctions and things they want. They want a book deal. They want people to love them. They want people to connect and merge ecosystems with them. So some of the dynamics that we're dealing with in our selling that get us to a certain place may limit us to the next place, right? So here we go. Variance is a critical dynamic of trust building. So Gallant is so, as the judges noted, is so unbelievably effective. My hallucination is that it's virtually impossible to say no to him. Virtually impossible to say no to him if you're in any space of wanting to make more money. So if you're in the space of wanting to make more money, Gallant, boom, done, right? Now, if you're in the space, perhaps, of wanting some more magic, connection, depth, as Elle is. Elle makes money, has a ton of money. So what Elle and people are going to be looking for first is likability, lovability, connection, right? They're not going to be mesmerized by the accomplishments, the talent, and the success, right? Elle is successful. So she's looking for people that she can connect with in an even deeper way first. Richard Harmon, unbelievably successful dude, right? $1 billion put in people's pockets. Richard is interested in meeting more people, of course. He's here, he wants to grow and develop, but he first wants to know, can I trust you? Do I feel great about you, right? So, Elle, let's drop in real quick. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, Elle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this is Gallant. We met on that crazy Real Raw thing with that weird guy, Sean. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, do you have like 5 minutes to talk?
I have 3.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Elle. So I know we were kind of playing around, messing around that day, but what I'd love to know, first and foremost, is why are you even on the Real Raw? Like, why are we even doing that?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm successful. What you don't know is that I was successful because I was very good at certain things, but other parts, I was not. I was suboptimal, as Sean would say. And when I found out about Sean and Unblinded, it was able to like complete like skill sets I didn't have, and very easily and very quickly. And, you know, so he invited me to be on as the role player. And so, of course, I said yes, because I'm extremely grateful to Sean.
Oh, well, that's amazing. But why are you doing all this? Like, why keep going? You know, you have these beautiful things happening. Ultimately, if you have it all your way, it all goes the way you want. Where is all this leading to?
Well, first of all, I love being happy every single day, no matter what happens. Like, that is just my goal. Like today, truth, I had a vital employee quit and had to run out to his house because he would not return calls, texts, and there I am he answered then. But it's just, I used to get really upset about things, and I usually am not really in the day-to-day operations, but like, it's fun for me. I like growing companies. I like building teams. You know, it's a lot of fun. And, you know, I don't ever plan to stop. Like, there's no, I mean, I might exit one business if I get a good exit offer. Please talk to me, Richard Harmon. But I'll do something else. Like, it's just the way my mind thinks, and it's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I'm hearing this like passion for entrepreneurship and continuous growth, and that's something that we don't see every day. People are so often money motivated, status motivated, and now I'm just feeling your heart to be so growth oriented. So, like, really, thanks for talking. And I know you have to go in like 30 seconds. Can I ask one final question before we have to take a break?
Yes. One final.
Yeah.
Oh, Gallant, I already love you because everyone always mispronounces my name too.
Oh, well, I
that in common.
We share that in common for sure. So final question is, like, what challenges, if any, are you facing as you're creating these beautiful things? You took your company from 4 to 20 million. I am hearing a little bit about time, I think, but what challenge are you facing?
You know, I mean, the toughest challenge in any business is always the people. The people, it's always the people. And I just had a challenging situation today. But I mean, that is, you know, trying to get everyone on the same page, moving forward, and getting along and having fun.
Yeah. So
not everybody has as much fun as I do, Sean. I mean, Gallant.
Yeah, I hear that. So listen, when you come back from your call and we have those like final couple minutes, if it's okay, I'd love to share a little bit about myself And I can't solve all those challenges, but I have something that I think would be pretty interesting that may take a little bit of the sting out of dealing with people. So would that be cool if we talk for 3 more minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, awesome. Elle, thanks. Take that call. I'll see you in a moment.
Okay.
Okay. So Elle, what was present for you in that conversation?
They're really interested in my pain points and the, what I was having challenges with, and you weren't just trying to sell me what you had.
But my question to you guys is that most sales, I'm coming from a cold situation. You guys are more pre-framed that they know who's on the call. You've read a survey. I'm jumping in with nothing. And for me, I'm not going to take some stranger's call and just start giving my personal business out there before I know the guy, especially not in 3 to 5 minutes. So when I came in, I showed value because I'll be honest, when you call up these businesses, they're busy. They're running a business. He ain't going to tell me what he's going through all day. He doesn't know me. He's going to be like, what's this about? He's going to think you're the IRS. So when I come in, I paint the value. I didn't know her from Adam. And if that's how you are, that's awesome. But the majority of sales is what's in it for me. Unfortunately, meaning for you guys, most people aren't going to sit there and talk, especially a roofer in Oklahoma. He can be like, who is this? Right? So I have to explain why I'm there. And then we open up, we start talking about our favorite beer and our favorite whatever, but I have to show him value or he's going to hang up on me. He's going to think I'm some crazy, fast talking, silver tongue Jordan Belfort.
Cool. So how about this? You be the roofer from Oklahoma and I'll be the cold caller.
Perfect.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Yeah. Hi. Who's this?
Oh, so so it's going to be switched. Like I'm the roofer. Are you the, which one's who?
I'm the cold caller.
Okay. So you just asked me whose this is. But if someone calls me and says whose this is, I'm going to hang up. Be like, must be a wrong number because they called me. Why would they ask me who this is? Does it make sense? You don't call someone and say who this is or who is this. I would be like, excuse me, you called me. I'm busy. Why did you call me to ask who this is? You should know you called me, right?
Okay. So you'd say you'd hang up right there.
I would hang up right there. I'd hang up right there. If they ask me who this is, I'm very sketched. I'd be like, it must not be important. Click.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's just
how about if you were a delusional person who didn't hang up and you just
I would say Gallant. Who's this?
Yeah. Hey, my name is Sean Callagy Gallant. Can I have 10 seconds of your time?
Sure.
Yeah. I want to give you $1,000 if this call isn't worth giving me 3 more minutes of time. And I mean that sincerely. Can I have 3 minutes of your time? If it's not worth your time, I'll give you $1,000.
I mean, sure. It sounds like a scam, but yeah, let's go for it.
Of course. So listen, my name is Gallant. You can look me up online right now. I'm the real deal.
How do I know you're Gallant? If I looked you up, how do I know this is Gallant Dill? What can you do right now to prove that you're Gallant Dill?
Okay. I'm Gallant Dill because I'm going to take you to my website. I'll let you read any page and say it. But how's this? Let's pretend that I am Gallant Dill for 1 second. Can you stay with me on that?
Okay, let's pretend I'm Jesus. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's go. So my simple question is, do you have all the traffic you want right now? The leads, the work you want right now. Do you have it?
I mean, we're not hurting, right? Because there's a sense of pride here. I'm not going to just share with somebody's offering me $1,000 that I'm out of business.
Okay, you just stay in roll.
Yeah. So the role is, why does it matter to you? Like Oklahoma, these guys are old school. They don't even are on the computer all day. So I'm going to answer like they would answer.
I'm not asking you to critique me yet. I'm asking you to.
Okay. So I'm going to say, I have a lot of word of mouth.
Okay. Do you right now, simple question, do you have all the money? It's a simple question. I will hang up the phone, brother, and never waste another second of your time. Do you have all the money you want right now coming into your business? If you do,
you can always improve.
Okay, cool. And do you have all the time freedom you want? I'm guessing because you answered the phone, you don't.
So all the time? I could go on another trip a year. Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. So here's the deal. What I do is help people generate traffic, which everybody says. I have an irresistible offer, which says, if I can't deliver what you want, I'll write you a check for $1,000 and you blow up my page of social media. Do I at least have your listening right now? And I think you said your name was Joe. Joe, do I at least have your listening right now for another 2 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
But it's been 2 minutes already, so you got 1.
Yeah, no, I'm buying your time. Did I buy your time? Because if not, we'll hang up. No problem. If you think I haven't bought your time for another minute, I'm happy to hang up the phone, sir. And I mean that sincerely because here's who I want to work with. I want to help transform business. And if you want more money and you want it in less time, right? Because you want to build a
But here's the thing. I get these calls and emails 4 times a day. What's the difference between you and the other 6 guys that have called me this week?
Yeah, listen, that's a fantastic question. It's, are they offering you $1,000 if you give them a try to work with them and try their leads out? And if this isn't working, I'm going to give you $1,000 if you cancel the deal with them. Not just have your money back, not just blow them up on the internet, but write you a check for $1,000. Is that what they're going to do?
Nope.
Awesome. So here's my ultimate question. Could we have a 15-minute conversation about all of this? But before we do, I'd love to learn a little bit about you. If you have like 1 more minute of why you're building.
Man, we're on that 3, but yeah, absolutely. We could get on another call.
I know you keep saying that, but here's the deal. I told you I'd buy more time. I didn't promise you'd be done in 3. I said, let's do another minute to see if it'd be worth your time. And you know why you're talking to me? Because nobody has spoken to you this way. And I'm saying this in love. This is called a disruption up front to open your listening. And I hear you're listening. Thank you. Because I have to fight through the traffic of BS like you do all day long. But now we're communicating. And the thing I want to know before I work with somebody is, why do you do what you do? Because I'm looking to work with people not just so they can make more money. I want to make sure that I'm serving people with like a vision and a mission of heart. So why do you do what you do, bro?
And anyone, I'm just going to little cheat, break, pause, say that to a roofer, see what they say. But, most roofers that I've ever spoken to would like to make more money and have more freedom with their family and to scale up and eventually exit. I've never met a Tony Robbins roofer before who was like, to change the world, to put a roof on my neighbor's house when it hails. They're usually like, I want to make more money.
Hey, Gallant?
Yeah.
You're not listening.
Oh.
And you'll be a lot more successful, brother, than you even are if you listen. Because I didn't say Tony Robbins. I didn't say dream.
But
Listen, stop interrupting. I said why. And the why was because they want to spend time with their family, because they want to have more free time. It's exactly what you said. And I do this for a living too, brother. And all day long, every day. You got scored by the judges. I get 10s every day on here by people I don't know.
But how many roofers have you sold? How many campaigns have you actually delivered and got them results, especially in COVID-19, where you can't even get them to knock on their door because of
L is a landscaper. L is a landscaper. L, you want to help?
Yes. How many? I mean, we run ads. Yes, we run Google ads. We run for one of my businesses.
But here's the question, Al.
Yes.
Am I lost and confused with what I'm sharing with this fine young man?
And don't just use use the whole industry. A roofer from Oklahoma is going to sit up and open with a complete stranger who hasn't shown any value right out the gate. That's what I'm going in as a stranger. They're not so open. It's not Austin, Texas.
You ready? You want to hear drop the mic? Okay. Drop the mic. I walked into a house in a tenement in Brooklyn at midnight with a bunch of dudes doing drugs, smoking pot from a gang. True story. You know what I was selling? I was selling them the value of their mother telling the truth in a federal trial. And I walked through the door and they said, if you walk through this door, we'll kill you. And I walked through the door. And 1 hour later, these young men were telling their mother to testify and tell the truth. And you know what was in it for her? Nothing, except her own integrity. So I love what you're saying, brother, but you are coming here with knowingness and certainty all over the place and ego, and you're an amazingly successful person. But you got 8s from the judges. We're talking real. I have not gotten an 8 one time from the judges ever on this show, and I don't know the people typically. So
if that's it's fine. I'm just saying, I'm just here to give you guys what's real. I don't sell the fluff. I'm here to bring value, and I've taken 100 to 1,000 roofer calls like that, and I've ran 100 campaigns, and I have hundreds of roofers that I've worked with. So It's like I'm going off these guys that are busy and they're tired of being pushed with crap. right? That's in like, so if that's how it works, that's how it works. And you're absolutely right. You should listen more, but remember, you got 3 minutes. And in 3 minutes, you got to sell. I didn't know if you got 3 minutes to schedule a second call. I would ask her about the COVID all day. My goal was to get to the sell in 3 minutes. That's what the purpose was. I thought.
Okay, so let's test your listening. Did you hear going in that your yes could be buying more time?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't even really know what that even means. Like, can I buy more of your time? I've never heard that reference before in the real world of sales. Maybe in like a mock, but I thought you had to show enough value in 3 minutes to get them to say yes to the product or service. And I chose her to pick the product and the service. And so I didn't know that I could just sit and ask 3 qualifying questions and say, can we talk with my wife 15 minutes later? I thought we were trying to get to the money on that.
Well, we have
I'm sorry, I'm very blunt, guys. I'm in the zone. This is what I do for a living. I sit on calls all day. I've made myself a multimillionaire in my 20s from doing this. So it's not ego. It's more of just I do this. I take those calls. I know what they're thinking. They don't trust me. And the way to remove the trust is to give them the value first and not to fill their head with anything else, or they're going to hang up on me. It's terrible. It sucks.
Yeah. So what was their head being filled with? Because I was a multimillionaire in my 20s also, selling myself as an attorney to people who are writing $100,000 retainer checks to giant law firms. And they picked me in a 150 square foot office.
Listen, I'm not comparing apples to apples or anything. I'm saying that this is what I do. I'm in the paint. I'm not only doing this for my own company. I have 350 other people that talk to roofers, solar companies, pool builders, home remodelers every single day. I've not only talked to them, but we've started over a dozen. So when I think of a random call coming in and I don't recognize the number, and the first thing to do is, who is this? I'm hanging up. And that's just how it ticks. Unfortunately, we don't have much of people's time. There's only so many seconds of each day. It's either provide the value, what's in it for me, or get off if you're a complete stranger. Unfortunately, I hate to be like that.
Okay, so we have Adam Gugino, who's here as a part of Unblinded. He took his company from $300 to $700 million in 3.5 years, cold calling and solar. And I would love to have you have a conversation with him about what he thinks about the formula of integrity-based human influence. And
ask him how many times he's been scammed by a marketing company right now and how he has zero trust for them and that he would probably not even hire them unless they showed their work first. Ask him. How many times have you lost money with these marketing companies calling you?
Yeah. So Gallant, this is awesome. I love the real rawness of this. So here's my question for you. You keep repeating the word give value. Tell me what you think the value that people first want from you is. You think it's money?
Proof. They want results. Anybody can tell them what they want to hear, ask questions. So when you come in there and you're like, look, dude, I'm going to bring you 10 appointments right out the gate, no strings attached, no signature on the dotted line. Keep your wallet to yourself. I want to build a long-term relationship with you. And let's get the mumbo jumbo and the over-deliver crap. Let me prove first. I can sit here and say I'm Gallant Dill all day, or let me show you a Michael Jordan, right? I'd rather show you than talk about being Gallant Dill or this. I want to show you what I got.
Okay, awesome.
This is real raw, man. This is, like I'm a salesman at heart.
Yeah. So what's the difference between what you're saying and what I'm saying?
Is that when you're on a fast sell, okay, every question and everything you're giving them is distracting them from the straight line. So if you're saying all this, all it's doing is diluting the value you've brought with your pitch. I've noticed in thousands of sales calls I've been on, if it goes for a certain amount of time, you've already said too much. They're going to call you and you're going to have to rehash out what you just said the first time because you went on a tangent about the trip you took to Colorado. So when you show value and you keep removing the risk to where it becomes a no-brainer and you keep them down that path, they're going to work with you. But when you have a small amount of time, you can't sit there and ask questions for these people because they're not interested yet. If he had signed up to a Google ad and wanted that appointment, requested it, absolutely. It's a totally different approach. You're talking about approaching cold traffic the same way you would approach warm traffic. And in sales, you can't market that way. There are different types of people. So for that lead, that was a cold lead. But if it was a certain way, he came to me on an appointment, I would sit there, talk to him, tell him my life story. We have kids. And whatever. But when you got that split second of that roofer, you gotta go. You gotta give it to him. I don't care what anyone says.
Okay. Have you ever heard the term scotoma in psychology?
I have not. And I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm a 9th grade dropout. So I do not know terms and words or nothing.
Okay. And you're a great salesperson. What you're doing continuously and what you're used to is you create scotomas. So do I. And your mechanism of creating scotomas is to overpower people with your energy and your words. And it's awesome. And you're an incredibly great salesperson, no doubt, right? However, as you raise with the people of their success level, their sophistication, you can't overpower people the same way with your speed and your words, right?
Gold, that's value. That's really good.
Yeah. And so what happens is you're creating a scotoma by asking questions to people, right? And creating blank spots and then dropping in with your Zeus energy, like dropping in with your Zeus energy.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So just listen, right? And dude, I love your effing energy, dude. I can't wait to talk more. And we're going to wrap this in a second in service of everybody else, but this is like what Real Raw is about. Debates, conversations. This is awesome, right? And what I'm sharing with you is, you're amazing and incredible, is there's points in time in people like Elle, like me, like somebody who's going to stop you, slow you down. And when she stopped you and slowed you down, you were benefit throwing. You kept benefit throwing into a wall. And so when you hit the wall, it requires a question, scotoma creation, a disruption, and then you move in, right? So there was like wall, benefit throw, benefit throw, benefit throw, benefit throw, benefit throw, bounce, 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 bounce. It's like bullets off of Superman. The effective way to open up the listening again is a simple question, like amazing. So Elle, so what do you mean? Like what's the quality differential you've experienced typically in traffic? And
absolutely, I agree. But the thing is though, you got 3 minutes. That's where I was confused. Like I could sit, if you gave me 15 minutes, those questions would have been asked. I would have been like, let me guess, they sold that lead, they didn't pick up. We have a system that will actually call the lead for you, schedule the appointment, you just show up and you close. But we just didn't have the time to get into that. So I just hit her with benefits to stay in that 3 minutes. But you're absolutely right. You want to figure out what's going through her mind. And I'm listening, I promise. I'm just saying, remember, this is a cold lead in 3 minutes. Like,
absolutely, brother. Remember, we said it's split in half into 2 3-minute segments, just final on this. And this is in service of everybody, right? The final is that objections collapse upon explanation. So you create, this is my proposal to you, right? Tracking, is you create amazing energy. So it's like an initial disruption. And you hit somebody with a scotoma. It means blank spot. It's like, whoa, I've never heard a cold call like this, right? Boom, disrupted, right? Now you end up in a space where rapport breaks down because you're saying something that's not resonating because there's an objection. The objection is, yeah, I want traffic, but I want high quality traffic, right? That's what she said and her objection was, right? So as we move into like the next segment, next piece of all this, the key distinction is question to disrupt that, her inability to explain why that happened, and you have an answer for that. I am 1,000% sure. But the answer is received differently, right? When we ask a question, the person can, so Elle was like, well, yeah, I don't know why it was like that. And look, I'll tell you why it's like that, because I'm Gallant. It's like it because boom, 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 boom. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So fantastic. Let us drop back into round 2. Pedro, right? You elected to kick off last round. Would you like to go first or second in round 2?
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, Pedro has to leave in a couple minutes, so can we move to Pedro?
Yes, let's go right to Pedro.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd love to go first, guys, and I do have to drop off. I've got some other commitments. And so if someone can just let me know how this all shook out.
So can you go round 2 or no?
I bought myself some, it's three more minutes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, drop it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hey, Elle, it's good to talk to you again. How was your call?
It actually went well.
Okay,
A new
awesome.
client.
Hey, just to pick up where I think we left, I think you were saying that you were you had tried some Google search and you tried a few things to get your online marketing to work, and you really were kind of struggling with that. So does that sound about right where we left off?
Yes.
Okay.
What about, I did want, I know you're originally calling about your wife, so I do want to make sure I take care of her.
Yeah, we'll definitely connect on that. Actually, if you look at your phone, I've already kind of introed you guys via Messenger. Actually, so if you can just give her a call, her name is Suzette. I told her all about you and how much Lindsay loves you. So that'll be a nice, kind of easy one for you. But since we're talking, you know, it's kind of interesting we're here. One of the things, like I said, I've been able to build a kind of incredible business for myself that's full of just financial freedom, fulfillment, and taking really cold traffic and converting them into really highly engaged paying clients using primarily Facebook and Instagram, which I know you in the fitness space for females, you know, Instagram is probably really hot, a great place for you to be. But so just real quick before I tell you more about how we do that, it sounds like, are you looking to take on more clients right now, or I mean, like, where are you at, like capacity wise?
No, I'm looking to take on more clients right now, Pedro.
Okay. And are you doing any marketing?
Got more wives?
Yeah, no. I could barely handle the one I got. You know, I'm I'm not that kind of Christian. That was funny. How are you running any marketing right now, or do you have any campaigns you're working on, or are you just kind of working off the referrals? And
right now I'm just doing the referrals.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, because my frameworks are very powerful, and I just wouldn't want to, you know, I wouldn't want to share. The framework I'm going to teach you and talk to you about today is really powerful, and so you definitely have capacity to take on more clients. About how many more clients a month, Elle, would be like, what would be a huge win for you in terms of growing your business in the next 30 days or so? 25
new clients.
Okay, cool, awesome. And Lindsay says you're awesome at what you do. Would you agree? Are you really good at what you do?
I am, yes.
And you love your clients, you're passionate?
I do.
And
yeah,
Elle, last
really
question.
Enjoy it.
Are you okay leading with some value up front? Are you okay with that? What I mean by that, Elle, is the challenge framework that I've used to kind of transform my life and business, and has helped, you know, many other entrepreneurs go from zero to literally like millions of dollars in 12 months or less. Income, impact, influence, really all the things you dream about as an entrepreneur. This model is built on a concept I call the taste and see approach to marketing. And, you know, there's so many people that make huge promises and underdeliver. And so my thought.
10 seconds.
Let Pedro go another minute.
Yes,
okay, all right.
And so basically, you know, my question for you, Elle, is, are you okay in letting people kind of taste and see of your services? Let them kind of see how awesome you are, you know, before kind of asking them commit to a coaching package or training program? Is that kind of
like a free training session?
Could be a free session, or, I mean, but philosophically, are you open to that concept?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then, you know what, Elle, I think you might be a great fit for our Crush It with Challenges model. It's a simple framework that I've taught hundreds of entrepreneurs, just like yourself, that are mission driven, great at what they do. And I'd like to be able to share with you kind of how we create these online challenges to get your ideal clients, your ideal prospects, taking some action with you in a fun 5 or 7 day online challenge. Maybe it could be to lose their first 5 pounds with you. And at the end of that experience, you can then, you know, upsell them into a 30, 60, or 90-day coaching program. I've used these exact same frameworks to go from zero, no list, no business in this brand, and launch a whole new business in a brand new niche, from zero to category king, multiple 7 figures and beyond. And I've helped so many others do that. So I do have a $2,000 course that I make available from time to time. Right now it's closed, Elle, but because you're going to train my wife and some other stuff, if I was to make an exception and open that up to you right now, are you in a position to take advantage of that and join now?
For $2,000? Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. So Elle, what do you think it's, so Elle, maybe this model might not be the right fit for you, because, you know, like most of the people that I've trained in this model that consult with me, they pay me $25,000 to consult with me on this framework. And so, like, I heard you're awesome at what you do. I'd love to help you. And I guess I just want, you know, I'd want to, this is a very powerful framework. And if you're going to figure out marketing, Elle, you're probably going to need to invest in some coaching or training at some point. So if, you know, have you ever bought courses before? Have you invested in your education as a marketer before?
No, not really. And with COVID and losing clientele, I really, Pedro, I just can't afford it right now.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Well, here's what we'll do, El. Let me have you and my wife connect. You guys can chat. And then I never do this, but I really see your heart, and I think you're really great at what you do. Here's what I'm going to do. You and my wife talk. If you guys hit it off, then maybe train her for a few weeks. I'll go ahead and we'll do a trade. I'll give you my course for free. You can take it for a test drive. If you don't love it, just invoice me. I'll pay you for the full, I'll pay your full fee for working with my wife. But I think once you see our framework, this is probably what you've been looking for, because so many people have tried webinars, VL sales, SEO, and never got traction. And once they see how our frameworks are so simple, easy to use, and don't require you to be very slick and salesy marketer, because you can just show yourself and show who you are to the people through our challenge framework, I think this would be the key to really unlock your business and go to the next level. So
Yeah.
Is that sound reasonable?
Yes, I'm on board with that.
Cool,
Thanks.
let's do it.
I appreciate that.
No problem, Mel. You have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Pedro. Pedro, thank you for going over time today. How would people find you and your amazing work in the world?
So I have an awesome challenge that I'm launching in a couple of weeks. It's called the 5-Day Movement Maker Challenge. It is for passionate, mission-driven entrepreneurs. I'm going to show you guys how I launched a movement from zero, to multiple 7 figures in 12 months or less at pedroadao.com. pedroadao.com. You can just opt in there, and I'll invite you into that challenge once that funnel is up.
And Pedro, am I correct in saying that you had a ton of success in the KBB launch? Is that correct or not correct?
That's a fair statement. I did a challenge to promote that affiliate promotion, and we took second in that promotion. And the person that beat us was Jenna Kutcher. Jenna is a monster. She's like mega famous. And guys, what my challenge framework has showed me is we've been able to do things that typically you have to have a huge email list to do. We've been literally able to get rock star results. I mean, without having to be mega famous or have a huge list, guys. I mean, we outsold Lewis Howes. We outsold everybody. I mean, we aside from Jenna Kutcher, our challenge framework.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Pedro. There were like tens of thousands of people doing it.
It was one of the biggest launches in the internet history. I mean, there was hundreds, thousands of affiliates. I mean, like famous people, legitimately famous people were in this launch. And our challenge framework creates so much connection with people that it's the equalizer. So, hey, if you're famous, good for you, because fame is the ultimate, it's the ultimate arbitrage. It's the ultimate influence. But until you're famous, what are you going to do? And so our challenge framework, I think, is the quickest on-ramp to leading with value, serving, building deep levels of connection and community. And people are desperate for family and connection right now. And that's what our frameworks do. And so that's how I've been able to crush top affiliate launches. Yeah. We've built a massive movement in the Christian entrepreneurial space doing this, multiple 7 figures of revenue. And during COVID, yeah. We just doubled our movement. I did a 30-day challenge. We had 1,600 members in my $3,000 signature program. And we doubled our entire movement. What took me 23 months to do pre-COVID, we were able to bring on 1,600 brand new students in the last 30 days.
Awesome.
On a free challenge, did over $2 million of revenue on a $112,000 ad spend.
Brother, that is insanity. And I would love to get to know each other better and talk more. That is some drop the mic stuff.
That is some drop the mic stuff. So, hey, this is super fun. Gallant, you're a boss, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, how was, what are your thoughts on the Real Raw and its insanity?
I mean, the Real Raw is, these are great learning moments. Just the Real Raw is, I used to be Gallant. That's who I used to be. And it's, I mean, the Real Raw is, I used to be Gallant. That's who I used to be. That's who I used to be. And it's a season and it's working for him now. And he's 28 years old. He's crushing life, and he'll evolve and he'll grow, and he'll look back on this conversation. And I mean, this was the best thing for him he could have done this day, this week, this month, this year, you know? And so, I'm 45. I've been through hell. I've been through bankruptcies. I've been through lawsuits. I had people accuse me of stuff I didn't do. I've been through the ringer. And so, I just have wisdom and experience that has taught me to slow down. I got crazy energy. I just am learning now to, when do I pull it out? When do I use it? And I think that you just saw two styles. You saw two styles. And I think it's important to kind of pre-frame. I didn't have time to prepare too much for this, but the time I put in was pre-framing. I pre-framed this conversation in a way that I knew I could just be me and dominate. And I think that's kind of what probably made the difference here, because, Gallant is very much in the trenches talking to cold consumers, right? Mm-hmm. Which is like incredibly difficult, probably the most difficult thing to do. So I got mad respect for him for doing that. Like, I would never want to do that, right? That's like the most, that's hand-to-hand combat in the trenches, right? So he came in here with this mindset, like, I got 3 minutes to close this guy. And he's right. Like, I know from my life insurance days, talking to some cold people, you talk to some, a roofer in Arkansas, and he's probably not going to want to sing Kumbaya with you for 30 seconds. So I get all that, right? And so I just think it's about the pre-frame. And it's like, listen, you gave me, Sean, the chance to set the stage. You let me tell Elle who she wanted to be. So I took advantage of that, and I was like, this is my ideal client avatar right here. And I just spelled it out. I spoke to her inner fears, her concerns, her struggles. So if you let me pick the rules of the game, I'm going to win the game because I got to pick the rules. So I just think that was maybe kind of what was kind of different about kind of my approach and Gallant's approach. But bro, you're a boss. I got mad respect for you, man. And I didn't make millions in my 20s. Actually, I started making millions in my early 30s, and then found out I lost those millions, and I lost 3 millions I didn't have. So then you learn a few things climbing out of a $3 million hole. But this was super fun, Sean. I'm sorry I got to go, man. I got to
go, brother. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. And
nice to meet you, Pedro.
Awesome, Pedro.
Awesome.
Hey, man. Thanks a lot, brother. You're awesome.
No, you're a killer, man. Good for you, bro. Peace.
All right, Gallant, are you ready for round two?
Yes. I just want to clear the air a little bit, though. You know, I'm very passionate about what I believe. And, so it's not that it comes off as unhumble. A lot of people see it like that. But when I don't like to talk about my story, because we can compare the craziest scars you've ever seen. I got over 100 tattoos, and I had them before I had the money. But, I believe in this. And I know if people that watch me get real stuff that they can immediately apply, that's what's going to change their life. I can sit here and talk about how I was homeless at 15 all day, but if I don't give them a real skill that they can immediately take home with them, I'm not going to do much for them. I had all the motivation when I was broke. There's a lot of motivated broke readers, but real skills, real value, and real pain points are what change people's lives. So that's why I've just never wrote the book. I never went that direction. So I don't want people to think I'm just arrogant. I live this. This has taken my life from nothing to having everything I've desired. And it's from these tactics. So when I say it, I don't say it to hear my voice ring. I say it because I truly believe in what I say.
Got it. So here's a question. Are you still a student in life, or you've mastered all things?
The smartest man in the world knows he knows nothing. The dumbest thinks he knows everything. So I read all day and I listen to audiobooks 24/7.
Amen. So we agree. You ready for round two?
Absolutely.
All right. Awesome. Take us in, Elle. 3 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, Elle, how's it going?
It's going great.
That call was pretty good, right?
Yes.
So you said earlier on the call that you had tried paid traffic and it didn't work out for you?
Yeah.
What do you think that was? Did you guys hire someone or do it in-house?
Which part?
Did you hire somebody to bring you that paid traffic that didn't work, or did you guys do it yourselves?
Oh, we hired somebody.
Okay. The problem with that is you don't know if they have experience or not. They're just trying to pay their rent. With us, we want to bring value and grow a long-term relationship with you. That's why every lead that we bring you, we guarantee that it's a good quality lead, or you get your money back, or you don't pay at all. That's why I like to always try in the beginning to give you what we have to offer so you can see up front if it's worth your time or not. And if it comes to not closing or the leads not being the best, my team can even preset those appointments. So you just show up and sell your services.
But how are your leads different?
So we use Google and Facebook, but we have a system where we target specific areas and we eliminate anybody that doesn't meet your criteria. So I can go get a list of every single person that has a 650 credit score and owns a house over 250,000. So most people don't know that they can do that. So they're targeting anybody with a roof, but you don't want to work with the people that don't have insurance or the people that don't have any money. My leads are people that you actually want to do business with, and they're exclusive to you. So when I give them to you, they haven't been sold 3 or 4 times. They're only your leads. And on top of that, we have an indoctrination campaign, which means after they come through, let's say you don't get a hold of them or they kind of will away, we have a system of emails and texts that stays at the top of their feed with different promotions and offers. So even if they don't buy right now, the next time there's a storm, we actually are on the top of their mind and we're the first in their inbox for that free consultation.
That's smart. I can see how that would be.
So they're not just getting one call and then we're gone. We're now
Right.
sending emails. We're cultivating to trust you, and you're sending offers every other week, free roof inspection, insurance pay only. So a lot of people think that they can't afford a new roof, which they don't realize that their insurance covers it. So by letting them know that through the emails after they've already signed up, it will actually bring in more leads and bring back people that might have not moved forward after that appointment.
Yeah, because what we found with the other leads is, they would want a, $15,000 roof for $5,000, and they had no money and no insurance.
Goes back into targeting. We only target and are seen by the people you want to do business with. And anybody who's like that, we replace that lead. We don't want to do business with them. We're targeting the areas that have money and good credit scores, and most of the time have insurance. You don't want to be targeting apartments with your ads. It does no good for you. We want to actually be in front of homeowners that need to replace their roof or might have been damaged from the recent storms.
Well, to be fair, we'll give you your extra minute, Gallant. Go ahead.
So what I want to do today is I don't need your password. I don't need a contract signed. I don't need a payment. What I want to do is I want to start sending you some calls. I want to see what happens. And at the end of that, I want to go over what happens. And if it's something that you can make a lot of money with and level up with, I want to pursue that. And if it's something that you feel like the leads weren't good and they're still kind of what you paid for prior, I'll just go my separate ways. And if you do like it and we do work together, remember that even in month 3, if the leads are still not up to par, I will give you a complete refund and a check for $1,000 for wasting your time. But before we get into marriage, let's have a date first. Let me send you what I have. Let me show you my work. And all you got to do is pick up the phone and go to these houses and sell your roofs. Let me make you money first.
Okay. I'm willing to do that.
I don't need a $2,000 deposit, and I want to make sure this gets to you. And watch this. I'll even do this. You already said yes, but you know what? If I can't bring you results in the next 7 days, I'll give you that $1,000 for wasting your time on this phone call. Wait till you see what I got. I'm excited to work with you. I'm going to shoot you a text when we're done with this call, and I'm just going to get a little bit more information to make sure they go to the right place. And I look forward to working with you.
All right. Thank you, Gallant. Excellent work, brother. Let's drop into the judges. Richard Harmon, thank you for going over time. What do you got?
It's really fun. So I'll be speaking to both of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, Pedro really won me over the second time. I just like where he went, and I'd work with the guy. Also, when you were adding his information about KBB, and I know about that whole competition, and to be in the top, to be number 2 out of that group.
Yeah.
I know Dean, I know Tony, I think Brendan Burchard came in number 4. That just shows you. Probably Lewis Howes was 3, but I thought that was extraordinary. I feel like for, you know, and the interplay, Sean, between you and Gallant was wonderful, because you have this, you know, hey, this is what I've done to date that, you know, with Gallant, it's made me millions and millions of dollars, and he's using a different tool set because he's using, you know, he's reaching out on these cold calls. And so I really appreciated his opening volley, etc. If I were a consumer of the right kind of services, I would probably give him a shot. And I think it was about the smoothest opening sales pitch that I've heard. It's another arrow in our quiver of sales. I always joke I'm a recovering CPA. We do not make, by nature, you know, we're not natively great salespeople. So I so much appreciate the insights that I've heard today, and the different techniques that Pedro and Gallant use. So I probably end up now, if I had to, do we have to give a final score? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd give Gallant an 8, and I'd give Pedro an 8.2.
All right. Very nice, Richard. And
Just neck and neck with just a little, you know.
But the question is, though, would you guys really say yes in the 7 or 8 minutes Pedro had to that offer on a random call? Right? That's the thing, is he used good techniques.
You won the random call, say yes, but he probably won the longer term relationship for me.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I agree. I would say that Gallant definitely won the cold call in this. I think with his energy, so on and so forth, was unmatched. You know, as far as like an appointment, I think the other gentleman, you know, that might have been the right tone to set with the appointment. I think Gallant, as far as, you know, a cold call, I think, you know, that's extraordinary.
all right, awesome. What do you have for scores? What do you have for scores, Gino?
You want my score?
Yes.
For Gallant, I think he's, for the second time around, I think, like I said, for a cold call, I think he's up to a 9. And then same thing for the other gentleman. I think for, again, an appointment, like a discovery appointment, he's up to a 9 as well.
But remember, guys, if
Gallant,
you wanted me to get a second appointment.
Gallant, please, Gallant.
Dude, I'm Michael Jordan, man. I don't show up to lose, ever. I've never been a loser.
But I do, though. I think it might be tiring for you, Gallant. You know, if you're sitting down with someone, like, I don't know if your style changes. Like, maybe, I guess you mentioned it does. Like, if you're like sitting down and, you know, you're, you know, face to face with somebody having lunch, I guess it's a different, you know,
well, I'm the underdog. I'm not the guy who has Tony Robbins being my edification where leads just flow in. My people, in which is the average person out on the online realm, have to hunt for their food until they can plant those seeds.
Hey, Gallant, let me bust you up. I was going blind at 27, selling things to people, competing against the top salespeople on earth and kicking their fucking ass. Don't again pre-frame me in your nonsense. Stop. I was respectful enough. I don't get lead flow from Tony Robbins.
Well, I'm talking about his whole coaching experience.
Stop being disrespectful. I haven't been disrespectful to you. You want me to get disrespectful? I'll tell you what people really think of how you approach today. You're not talking about 27-year-old people that you could wow with your words. Be a man, listen, and be respectful. I've been respectful to you. You're not going to take another swipe at me? If you want to take a swipe, I'll bet you $250,000 in front of 5 people we don't know and who can out-influence who for charity. For the American Foundation for Blind, for saving girls from sexual slavery. You want to take the bet right now? I'll put the money in escrow. Take the bet.
I mean,
take the bet or not.
I'm here to give value to the people.
Take the bet or not right now. Take the bet or not.
I'm not going to take the bet. I don't even know the charity.
Okay, thank you. Jackie, what do you got? Jackie, what do you got?
Okay. Interesting. I mean, what I will say is that in the second time around when listening to Gallant, the 2 things that I think he brought to the table were that, again, he went with kind of a no risk. There wasn't much to risk by taking that option. And the second thing this time is that he brought the why. What he could bring, why his leads were more valued than somebody else's. So for me, making a decision, I'm somebody that has to understand the why behind it. And that would have helped me to make my decision. What I did find from Pedro is I do agree that in this particular round that maybe, you know, Gallant had the edge. What I think that Pedro did that was smart though, was he went after the 2,500 when Elle said, she wasn't there yet, he had a second plan in place so that he got to move to the next step, even though the first one did not work. And I think that's smart. It's something we always plan to do. I know when we're doing all calls is what's your next step when the first one doesn't work. So he did that, and I think he did that well. And again, comes up, more naturally. But I will say though, from listening to everyone in the feedback is, Gallant, is that sometimes I feel like there was that you were defensive. And I think there's no reason to be that way. You have clearly so much talent that I think no one can deny that. But sometimes the biggest challenge one brings to themselves, or I always say, sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. There's always something in life to learn, and I know you said that sometimes it doesn't come across as being humble, but I think if you lose sight of being humble, you kind of lose sight of everything. I get the luxury of working with Gino, and one of the things I kind of appreciate most about that is that we're able to have those conversations, and being grounded, I think, is important. So, your talent is obvious.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, Jackie, I thank you. Everybody, listen, this is the real raw, right? This is the real raw. And I thank Gallant for him speaking his mind, him being in his heart, his relentlessly influencing. I've listened to his stuff, and I actually do find him to be genuine and humble, right? And this is what it's all about. It's competitive, it's crazy, it's dynamic. And I thank you, Richard, for being here and spending so much time. Gino, I thank you. Jackie, I thank you. Pedro, I thank as well. Elle, for going long. And Gallant, I thank you. I thank you for speaking your heart, speaking your mind, and being a relentless warrior. And I respect that. And I look forward to truly getting to know you better. So,
for sure. And like I said, thank you guys for having me. And what you always, I think the real raw is the perfect name for bringing someone like me on. I'm not the guy who wants to sugarcoat. I'm just going to call it like I see it. And everyone shared a lot of gold, and I agree with everything that was said today. I appreciate you guys for having me, and you all are awesome, and your success is awesome, and keep inspiring. But sometimes you got to get that young guy to come stir some shit up, piss some people off, and actually, give some fire. So that's just what I bring. And
now I'm going to ask you this, right? We have influence offs going forward. So final question, right? Influence, I'd love to invite you back. And there's going to be influence offs going forward, different rounds, people who've won these things. So if you want to come back, you can always come back, brother. Right. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, man, I appreciate for inviting me back, and I appreciate all the judges. You guys are awesome, and you guys rock.
All right. Have a beautiful day. It was the real raw like we've never had before. So thank you.
Raw. Love it. Love it.
Richard, thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one.